What is up, everybody? Welcome on in to Alarm Fantasy Football. I'm your host, Andrew Cooper. Alongside me today, Mr. Johnny Impemba. Howard Bender, our fearless leader, is off doing big fancy stuff today. He had something on the schedule he couldn't miss. But we are here to hit you with the waivers, to answer all your questions that you might have for who to pick up, who to drop, whatever you guys want in the chat. And we're also going to do a quick drafters draft, as you know we do. I'm up on the clock real quick to kick it off, and look at that. Looks like Impemba, looks like Icy Through snuck into this draft.
Love it.
Rascal. He knows we kick off at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays. How you doing, buddy? How your teams do this weekend?
Teams went well. Like I said, we were talking about just before we went live. I needed sort of the miracle comeback last night from David Montgomery, down 19 points going into last night's matchup. I was like, listen, this is a guy that can certainly go out there and get 2 touchdowns. It's in the cards. That's kind of his calling card here. Did not certainly expect to see him do exactly what he did. Went out there and had almost 30 fantasy points last night. So that was a pleasant surprise here. We're going to go Puka Nacua for my selection.
Do it.
McCaffrey, Allen, Nacua here to start it off for us in this one. Coop, I do want to give a quick mention here for everybody who's tuning in about drafters. We are still running the opportunity to win a free month of Fantasy Alarm All Pro. If you are new to drafters and make a new first-time deposit, you can go to fantasyalarm.com/draftersbb or fantasyalarm.com/drafterspicks. Use promo code ALARM or promo code ALARM100. Either one works. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100, and you now get entered into an opportunity to win a free month of Fantasy Alarm All Pro.
Ooh, baby.
So if you have not yet drafted on drafters with us, not made that deposit of $10 minimum and entered a $10 contest, you have an opportunity to do so and then win a free month of that's a $40 value that you're getting an opportunity to win for free simply by making a $10 deposit, which drafters is then giving you a free $10. So you have opportunities to play in these whale drafts. They have pick'em contests, a lot of opportunities for you guys to win some money with us. We do drafters picks every week. Articles are out. You do drafts all week with Bender and myself here now. And again, we're going to give away a free month of Fantasy Alarm All Pro to those who sign up and make that first time deposit and enter at least a $10 contest there. So you go ahead, you make that deposit. You can DM me. You can post it in the Discord. We'll track your username, and then we'll run a raffle here at the end of the month to win a free month of Fantasy Alarm All Pro. So make sure you guys check that out.
No better time to invite your friends and family to come draft with us, because they could potentially get a month and become part of the family and see what it's all about, all the fun we're having. And if you haven't played yet, and it's your first time, let me know. I'll make sure that you get in. We always try to give priority to people who haven't drafted with us before. We got Icy drafted with us right now. Victor, I'm glad you didn't get in here. I see him in the chat. He's actually won our weekly draft, not only once, but twice. He's won 2 of them. So we're going to do one tomorrow and then one on Thursday. It's a ton of fun. If you have not drafted, hit me up. We'll make you a priority and get you in here. I'm just going with players that are awesome and players that are fun here. This one is only 5 people. So this one we're doing here is the whale. So this contest it's only 5 people in the draft. So the teams are crazy. You go up against 2,500 people if it fills. The winner gets $4,000 whether it fills or not. So this is kind of like their weekly big content. Well, not necessarily their biggest one, but it's $11 buy-in. I think it's the best combination of reasonably priced and has big upside. Yeah. The ones we do on the weekly basis, that's just us with like 12 of us or 10 of us, and third place gets their money back, second doubles their money, third place takes the big prize home. So it's a lot of fun. So let me know if you haven't played before. Jump in with us. I see Tootsie Pop in the chat. Had fun chatting with you yesterday on your show. Jump in with us. Draft with us. Takes about 15 minutes, so should be a lot of fun. But yeah, there's some big waiver moves this week to be talked about. If you guys in the chat have any questions, put them in there and we'll hit on them. Ideally, try and focus on waivers, because so many moving parts, so many guys that are injuries. We do the waivers today. We do trades and DFS tomorrow, and we do lineup start sit questions on Thursday. So try and focus on waivers, but maybe you could sneak a rest of season question in here. Johnny, what do you think about Michael Robertson's question here? Genty or Judkins rest of season? I can't believe this is a question, but at this stage, it kind of is. So what are your thoughts, man?
So, obviously, Genty's biggest issue right now is the offensive line. Raiders are just giving him absolutely no opportunity to move before getting contacted. again, I was not as high on drafting Ginty where he went in drafts. I think this is probably a good matchup this week for Ginty with them being at home. But Quinton Junkins is looking like a beast. He was really good at Ohio State. And had he not had the legal issues, he probably would have been steamed up draft boards. Going into the season here. So I don't mind it. If you feel like Junkins is the better play long term. That offense isn't going to be very good. I think the Raiders probably have a better chance of winning games. And if they can just utilize Ginty more in the passing attack, the value might be there. I don't have a strong lean, honestly, one way or the other of these spots. Ginty's probably fine if you already have him. I'm not looking to like bench one or trade one for the other, but I think what you've seen out of Junkins has certainly looked good in those 2 games so far.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Genty. I mean, I do like. The thing is, they've said that they're trying to. It's not about him not being great. It's about them trying to kind of monitor his snaps. And with Judkins, he's still giving up the pass work to Jerome Ford. So it's still Genty, but it is closer than we would have thought coming in. Closer than we would have thought. Greg, I'll shoot you a message on Twitter. Also, Jerry Nelson, if you're all set up, let me know if you got that figured out. If you're set up. I know, with some of them, just to warn you going in, it's a secure site. They want to take care of your security. So you probably, in some states, you're going to need to take a quick screenshot of your ID. It's not so bad doing that. The other thing is you might need to check with your bank to make sure you can deposit. Sometimes some banks out there, again, for your security there, I've had some people say that they've had trouble getting set up with drafters because of the bank. So just double check on that. Give it a couple tries. We've had people that it got kind of blocked the first time around. Then they got in there, no problem. So make sure you're all set up there. Alex Flores has a question here. Traded Rice for DK and JMO. Needed some wide receivers bad on 1 and 2. Rashi Rice for DK and JMO? I think if you're going to make that move now, you're not going to have Rice for 3 more weeks. I mean, at least you're getting some guys back that you're going to be able to use, right?
I have no problems with that. Just like I have no problems taking Derrick Henry round 6 of this draft. So, fumbles be damned. We'll still draft a value there.
Right. That's a great pick. Yeah, for me, I have no problem doing that move. But on the flip side,
two wide receivers. So
if I'm 3-0, I'm doing the exact same thing that other guy just did, where I'm looking for the team that I'm out there looking for the team that is 0-3 or 1 and 2 with Rashi Rice. If I'm 3-0, I'm trying to get a hold of Rice right now.
Yeah.
Because the upside there, pretty appealing. Let me go ahead and I took Ibuka. Let's take Baker. I thought about taking Jaden Daniels here. What you can do in these, for those people that have never played, is you do have some moves that you can make. So you can draft, and then you can actually up to 8 times drop someone you drafted for anyone that didn't get drafted. So you could do like contingent plays, like taking Jaden Daniels, knowing that, okay, I'm going to have him if I need him, but if I can always drop him for another quarterback. So there's a little extra level of strategy to these. I'm kind of figuring it out as I'm going through. Last week with our whale, we didn't quite finish in the money, but out of like 2,500 teams, I think we finished like 300th or somewhere. So we're moving up. We're moving up the ranks.
I like it. Let's see. Where do I go?
Why does it say that Coop is Howard Bender? Okay, so I didn't change that.
You gotta change your name, Coop. What are we doing?
Sorry, guys, because Bender's not here out of respect. We kept his name. We kept his name in the big lights. There we go. All fixed, everybody. Don't worry about it. All right, Johnny. So, okay, what's your build looking like here? Puka Nacua, wide receivers Nacua, Odunze, Quinn Johnston. You got your quarterback and tight end. Your team's pretty airtight here. All you need is a flex now, right?
I think so. QJ's been awesome. Nacua, Odunze's got a great matchup this week again. Getting top tight end versus the Bears, so you get a little run back with the Odunze play. Again, I like my running back. Jacobs Dallas. It feels like a strong spot and just getting value on Derrick Henry. I get the Chiefs have a good run defense, but I'm going to still take my shots there. So let's see. What do we
Wow, Hunter Henry. Wow, that puts me in a weird spot now because my whole plan was to wait on tight end and then just take whoever was left out of Tyler Warren, Juwan Johnson, or Jake Ferguson. I figured that those guys would go, but then someone took Hunter Henry and Sam Laporta. So now I have to pick out of those 3 unless somebody wants to go tight end to the flex here along the way.
let's see. What do we want to do? You know what? Let's go with Ted. Let's go with Ted McMullen here.
Yeah, he's been getting the targets, and boy, the wide receivers after him have been kind of junk. I'm gonna go with Tyler Warren here, but my Jake Ferguson's just been a target machine with Lamb banged up. Now I'm going Tyler Warren. All right, there you have it, folks. I mean, these are the kind of lineups you can put together over there. Mine's Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Chuba Hubbard as running backs, Amon-Ra, Egbuka, A.J. Brown, Baker Mayfield to go with Egbuka as a little bit of a stack, and Tyler Warren. So not bad. Johnny's got Puka Nacua, Rome Odunze, Quentin Johnston, Ted McMillan, and then he's got Jalen Hurts and Brock Bowers, and Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs. So
I mean,
get loaded up.
Seriously. I mean, I feel like there's a ton of upside there for like guys that could be the number one scoring player of the week at each position, which is what I generally try to do in these weekly best ball drafts. So I can is guys that have that one-on-one upside. So,
yep. So jump in there, get set up, and you can jump in with us tomorrow. I'm going to post the link. Again, new people get priority. So I've created the league. I'm going to reach out to Greg and Jerry and anybody who wants to draft with us for the first time first. And then we will get the regulars in there and get this thing popping. All right, let's hit a couple of the questions in the chat first real quick, and then we'll jump in the individual positions, and we'll just give you our thoughts because every once in a while, there might be guys you missed. I have articles out both for the the best ads for now and for later, and then I have a second article that's for Fantasy Alarm members only. That is streamers and stashes for those deeper leagues. I know some of you guys are in like Scott Fishball and some of those sicko leagues. So best RB waiver pickups: Marks, Corum, McNichols, Chris Rodriguez. Looking for the best ceiling play this week. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just start with running back here with this question? First and foremost, you need to check your wire right now to see if Trey Benson's out there.
Yeah.
He's rostered in a lot of leagues, but still on Yahoo, only 52%, which means that virtually half the leagues out there, he's available. This is a bag drop situation. Use your number one waiver priority. Drop. I mean, Johnny, are we talking 100% of fab if he's out there?
I've actually given that exact advice to someone who's like, how much should I put on Trey Benson? I said, all of it.
All of it, dude.
I mean, this is depending on the size of your league, obviously. Like if you're like in a 10-man and shallow rosters and there's just a lot of waiver wire depth out there, you probably still want to invest a lot, but like at least there's other guys that you could pick up and do whatever. If you're in like deeper leagues like you and I are in, 12 teams with deep benches, 14, I'm in a lot of 14 team leagues. Though there's like what you're looking at on the screen right there is what the waiver wire pool looks like. So if some reason after the first 2 weeks, the guy who drafted Trey Benson's like, man, I need a spot and they cut him. Every dollar you own goes to Trey Benson because there may not be a better player that becomes available this season. Like you do the stashes and streamers. I just did a waiver wire TikTok video. Someone like a Miles Sanders, the way he's been playing, at least there's a chance that you stash him. And if something happens to Javonte Williams, like then there's that kind of upside. But Trey Benson has the job. So like he's the guy to spend all your money on if he's there. But of this group, Coop, I mean, McNichols and Chris Rodriguez. McNichols had the fluke 60-yard touchdown run where like they had him wrapped up twice. He somehow broke out of it. It wasn't even like the correct play from what people were mentioning. Like they turned the wrong way and gave him the football. Rodriguez had 11 carries, but only averaged 3.5 yards per play. Corum is actually getting more work this year than he did last year, but he's still very much behind Kyren Williams. And then Woody Marks, everybody wants to think will eventually take over for Nick Chubb. Maybe. But there's no guarantee that's really going to happen. They just might want to run the veteran out there. Chubb hasn't looked great, but he hasn't been as bad as I think many people expected. And that offensive line's terrible. So
terrible. Yeah. I mean, for me, here's how it goes. After Trey Benson, it's Woody Marks. And the reason it's Marks is that he could potentially take over that backfield without an injury. So for him, he actually already surpassed Dare Ogunbowale. Basically, it was Nick Chubb on rundowns, Ogunbowale on pass downs. That's how they started the season. And Dameon Pierce was the RB3. Then they made Dameon Pierce inactive. And in that game, Woody Marks came out and caught a 37-yard pass. That's week 2. Week 3, Ogunbowale didn't play an offensive snap. And Woody Marks took all the pass work and still got some of the run work. It was 33 snaps for Chubb, 30 for Woody Marks. So for me, Woody Marks represents the best combination of, can I use him now? Yes. Does he have upside to take over? Yes. Does he have contingent injury upside if something happens to Chubb? Yes. So he kind of checks all those boxes. After that, you got to look at your own roster composition and ask yourself how far these guys are away from your lineup, right? Like if you need a guy to start this week, Johnny, out of like Chris Rodriguez, guys like Kareem Hunt and those guys, like
Yeah.
Blake Corum and DJ Giddens, those guys don't have standalone value. They have huge upside if the starter gets hurt, but they don't have value for you right now. So those guys, if it's your wide receiver, your running back 5 or 6, then I'll go with Giddens or Corum because they got big upside. You don't need them. But if
Yeah.
you're looking at somebody to be your RB3 right now or RB4, that's where you got to go for like Tajay Spears if he's there. McNichols.
I think you could throw, if you're in a deeper league, actually not even a deeper league, this guy's absolutely available. But Devin Singletary is now going to play a larger role with the Giants. They lost Tracy. Just saw a report it could be 2 to 4 weeks for Tracy, so they might just put him on the IR. Singletary got 25% of the offensive snaps last week. Scannabo is going to be the number one running back in that offense for sure. But what are we talking about with Singletary, right? He's a guy that's really good in pass pro. They keep him on the field in third downs. And he's been a productive running back, really, when he's been given opportunities to play. He's a veteran guy. I would imagine with a rookie quarterback now out there, you want a rookie backfield of a running back and a quarterback, you might see the veteran play more snaps moving forward with Jackson Dart back there to kind of help him out, read defenses and things like that. So Devin Singletary is now a guy that I think if you're in a deep league and you're looking at Marks, Corum, McNichols, and Rodriguez as pickups, like consider throwing a couple of dollars on Devin Singletary in that group because I don't think he's much worse than the group that you're looking at. Rodriguez, just because he had the 11 carries, I think is probably someone that I would like maybe prioritize. I think what we fall into the Woody Marks situation, Coop, and we talk about this a lot, is like guys who run up against different defensive sets. It's like, oh my God, look at Woody Marks and what he's doing when he's facing a nickel and Chubb is out there running up against a front 7 set, and it's like, well, clearly Marks is the better back. He's like, no, if Marks is running against the early down set that Chubb is running up against, he would struggle probably just as much. So,
I mean, for sure. And again, we ran into this. The thing is, last year we were in a similar spot with a couple guys like Bucky Irving and Tank Bigsby was carving out a role. The thing for me is that regardless of the situation, there's only so many guys that actually have half a job at all or have a chance to start. So you got to give yourself a shot at upside. But yeah, there is downside to this play. So it's not like Trey Benson where you just drop all the money on him.
Right. All of those guys are super risky.
Yeah.
Again, the Washington situation, somebody is going to be the clear-cut 2 or 1. Ja'Cory Krosky, despite scoring the touchdown, again, didn't look great last week.
Right.
So like that running backfield is completely open to any one of those 3 guys. So
it's not a bad job. That's the thing is, so Woody Marks and Rodriguez, it's not a full, like, okay, I'm dropping 100. It's okay. I'll put in, you layer your bids, right? I'm going to put 15, 20% on Woody Marks, but I'll also put 5, 10% on Chris Rodriguez. I'll sprinkle a little bit on, Tyler Algier or Devin Singletary or Miles Sanders if you need somebody, you know what I mean? Like layer it that way. Don't go out and go crazy. But for me, Marks has to be the top just because he's got the clearest path to just taking over, But Rodriguez too, man. I mean, like those are the top. Those are my 3 top heads: Benson, Marks, Rodriguez. My streamers, we already mentioned a ton of them. Kareem Hunt. You could throw Ollie Gordon in there, but not super appealing. Tyler Algier is always going to be on the radar for that.
The Hunt one's super, I think, interesting to me because again, he was the better back kind of the way the season ended. Pacheco got hurt, came back, wasn't really the same guy. And then we've just kind of seen now this season kind of been splitting between them.
Mm-hmm.
Right
down the middle.
So I think there's a good opportunity here to just grab Kareem Hunt and get 50% of the work and the red zone work last week. He scored the touchdown there. They trust him. He's in their offense. Pacheco, what was Pacheco? Right? Like a guy that was a late round pick that had some athletic upside, but if that's not following through now, I mean, they don't have any commitments to him.
Right. Fully agree. And then Giddens and Corum are our top pure handcuffs. And the reason there is that, like, if the starter plays a massive snap share, then it's not a good handcuff plus situation. They have no standalone value. But if Jonathan Taylor goes down, I mean, this is a guy that was playing 80% of the snaps.
Yeah.
So DJ Giddens picks up a huge snap share. Same with Blake Corum, right? Like, sure, he's playing a little more, but what is that, John? I mean, Kyron's still playing 75% of snaps.
Exactly.
So that's where you go. DWR, what's up, dude? Thanks for popping in. You can drop Dylan Sampson. His role got pretty much erased this week. He only had 2 offensive snaps, I believe.
Yeah, they went straight Jerome Ford as the third down back, which I thought was kind of interesting because Sampson had like the 8 catches in week 1. I thought maybe they would just roll with the rookie backfield. But again, teams like veteran running backs, and if Sampson's not up to par yet with pass pro, they'll just go for it. So
yeah, fully agree on that. A couple quick questions. Also, re-add Vikings D, drop them after week 1. Vikings D is great. And going to be a top option this week once again. Vikings this week have they have the Steelers this week. So yeah,
Pittsburgh. I think you could also go the opposite side if Pittsburgh's there. I like targeting what was it? I like the Lions this week. The Lions are available. They're home versus Cleveland. I think there's a good opportunity for them there as well with all the sacks that they can get after Flacco, and Flacco throws a ton, can turn the football over. So
that game's overseas, right? The Steelers.
Steelers is overseas this week.
Is it Germany? Ireland this week.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Jerry Nelson wants to know, drop Mooney for Horton. Horton is a stash only for me. These are guys we like to stash these guys where we can because he's showing explosive upside. Just had the punt return. The problem that you run into with Horton is that this scheme is set up to use like the fullback and the blocking tight ends and stuff. So the wide receiver 3 role is not a good one. He is like a contingent handcuff to JSN or Cooper Kupp, or maybe at some point they just decide to roll him out there over Cooper Kupp. Yeah. But until then, it's not a team that uses 3 wide receivers. So he doesn't even get the opportunity that we really are looking for. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he got a nice touchdown, but it was one of his 2 catches, right? So
I'm holding on the Mooney. Yeah. I'm holding the Mooney. But he's in the stash article for this week. Flex Jordan Mason or Cam Scatterbo. I'm going to flex Mason, but again, we're trying not to do start sits yet until we have the full injury report. But Aaron Jones is on IR, and Tyrone Tracy's not going to play.
Jordan Mason's an every week play right now. So
watch Pitts go off. He probably will go off. What's this 20 THB thing, John? What's that?
What?
20 THB super chat? Did we just get crypto?
Did we get a super chat? Did we just get a super chat?
That's awesome, dude. We really appreciate you. And here's the question. But what's THB? Is that like crypto?
I don't know. We'll find out. I'll have Grande check it out. So
looks like it is. Oh, it's from Thailand. That's awesome. Thank you, man. That rocks. 0.5 PPR. Would you waiver Ramondre Stevenson to take either Menage or Marks? No, I'm not gonna hold. I'm gonna hold on to Ramondre. The thing about these fumble situations is that they're not always treated equally. Some coaches will bench the guy for the rest of the year. Some coaches don't punish them at all. I mean, Pete Carroll never punished Chris Carson for fumbling twice every week. He might be a 1-game punishment. They might consider him punished and just roll with it. So for me, Ramondre still has he's closer to
it's a good matchup too, right? You don't want to sit him versus Carolina and then see him get the trust back. I mean, Vrabel came out, first question yesterday during his press conference was about the Ramondre Stevenson fumbles, and he says, we're going to work on it this week. So I expect to see many videos of him just getting his hands beat with the ball, with the bags as he runs through the line here. But no, they're still going to rotate their running backs because they don't have a good enough running back room to not play Ramondre Stevenson, right? Like, Antonio Gibson got the first carry, fumbled immediately, and then they have a rookie and Travion Henderson who's not ready to be a 3-down back yet. So Stevenson's still going to play, and Menangai and Marks haven't done anything to earn that role yet. So
yeah. And speaking of the Patriots, Rod Elliott asked which of the best defenses to stream this week. Patriots are a pretty good choice, especially if Christian Gonzalez is going to play. So if Gonzalez is going to play, that really fixes things in the secondary where they've had the most problems. They've been one of the worst teams in DVOA against the wide receiver 1 because they're missing their top corner. Yeah. But they've been pretty good at creating pressure. 9 sacks over the first 2 weeks. Last week, I don't know what happened. They couldn't get after Rodgers, but this week they get the Panthers. So Patriots are definitely on the board. And I mean, you could always start the Patriots against. I mean, if it's a crazy deep league where everyone's rostered, Panthers defense against the Patriots. I know they're not a good defense, but they've actually.
May is the second most sacked quarterback in football right now. He's tied with Geno, and then after last night, Lamar Jackson's up to 12 sacks now too. But the Patriots' offensive line, let May get tackled there. So.
Did you hear what Cam Hayward had to say about the Patriots, John?
I did not. I missed it.
They asked him, and he said, Yeah, we keep a list of guys like when we do our punch out drills and
Oh, yeah, that I heard, yeah, on
yeah, he said
Stevenson.
we keep a list of guys that put the ball on the ground and we know when they're in the game. And he said not just Stevenson, he's like, but also Drake May. He's like, it's
Yeah.
not just him. He's like, they got a couple of these guys that got a long history putting the ball on the ground. So
Mhm.
yikes. Do I trade Josh Jacobs and Olave for Malik Neighbors and Travion Henderson?
I'm not trading Josh Jacobs.
No, too good. Too good, bro. Unless you just have like crazy wide running backs to the point where Jacobs is like on the fringe of your lineup, then maybe it's just an upgrade to Neighbors, but I can't imagine why.
But honestly, is that even an upgrade? Is Henderson giving you the same production that Olave is basically giving you a wide receiver, and then you're just
No,
washing Jacobs and Neighbors? And now, I mean, we'll talk about it when we, the waiver wire show. Quarterback Jackson Dart's now the starter in New York.
all right. Well, let's hit quarterback right now because I mean the
think that's
quarterback
gonna be an
options are
upgrade, too.
terrible.
We
What'd
think
you say?
that's gonna be an upgrade, right? We think Dart's an upgrade over Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
We don't know. It's a rookie
not
quarterback.
forever. I mean, it's like the thing. It's so crazy in the current environment, John, with the quarterbacks, where it's like for certain players, you have to not only root for the player, but you have to root for the team because you need the quarterback to stay out there. Like I'm sitting here with Juwan Johnson, just praying that Spencer Rattler can hold on to this job, or like with Harold Fannin and Njoku. Like the moment Flacco loses that job, the volume's going to tank, right? Like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of these. On the flip side, though, like Theo Johnson hasn't done anything. You know, maybe Jackson Dart does spread the ball around a little more evenly. So you never know, but Dart can't be as bad as Russ. That was the worst series. Those last 4 plays in the red zone, John. What the
Yeah.
hell was that?
I mean, obviously there was nobody open, but the fourth down play, you
Off the
absolutely
upside?
have to throw an interception there or throw a touchdown. You
Dude,
don't
you
just throw
can't
it
do
to the
that.
back of the end zone. Like, what's the no play? No play on fourth down is not an option in the red zone. I
No.
understand if you're just throwing it away on first and second down because, like, again, you want to live to see the next down. But when there is no next down, you throw a pick or you throw a touchdown. That's all
That
you can
was
do.
insane. Yeah, I mean, that's bench worthy for sure. So, for waivers, John, I mean, like, this is a bad week for quarterbacks on waivers, if you ask me. You should have added Daniel Jones when you had the chance because there's not really much out there that's under 50% owned. I'm looking at guys like as like spot starts, maybe like Geno Smith this week.
Yeah, 100%. Gino is one of my favorite pickups of the week. He's got a home matchup right against the Bears defense.
Yeah.
Been really bad. We
Yeah, I
still
think
don't know the
he's the
we
number
also
one.
don't know the statuses of Justin Fields or Jaden Daniels again for this week. So if you didn't pick up or stream Mariota or Tyrod Taylor, Tyrod's got Miami, good matchup there, and he was fine last week. Mariota was good last week. Matchup for him. I know that doesn't look like Terry McLaurin's now going to play this week, so that's kind of a downgrade from that aspect. But for streamers, I mean, I don't think you're looking at the waiver wire right now and thinking my long-term quarterback
Right.
solutions here. So
Yeah, he's willing to run. Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you're sitting there, and let's say we learn early Jaden Daniels is out.
Yep.
So it's Mariota. He's playing. Would you rather stream Mariota against the Falcons or Stafford against the Colts at home?
Stafford. I think
Okay.
the way that offense is running right now, Stafford's Stafford is a quarterback available in your league, and you are in a spot that needs a quarterback, then he would probably be the play.
Stafford or Geno?
Probably Stafford just for the weapons. I think Geno is a far better matchup.
Yeah.
I'm
had Geno head, but I kind of feel the same way.
I'm in a spot this week where I had Joe Burrow, made a trade last week, traded ETN to get Baker Mayfield. Started Baker Mayfield last week against the Jets. It was fine. He had like 18 fantasy points. But now they lose Mike Evans, and he's got the Eagles defense. I'm like, well, I don't really want to play Baker now this week without his number one wide receiver against the Eagles D. Geno Smith is available in the waiver wire. Like, I'm probably going to make a play to spot start Geno this week, and then I'll just play Baker next week when Godwin returns and they get Ibuka and things like that. So
yeah. I mean, those are the moves you got to make. It like people are always so hesitant to roster 2 quarterbacks or 2 tight ends. And I always say, what's the weakest part of your lineup? If it's quarterback, it's okay to have 2. If it's tight end, it's okay to have 2. Like that's the whole point of your bench is to try and improve your lineup. So I do a ton of those moves. In terms of stashes, Jackson Dart, obviously number one now that he's going to start. When we want to see what that looks like. Don't want to necessarily start him, but you want to get a peek, right? You never know if this kid's just electric. And then I guess Carson Wentz with Jordan Addison coming back, maybe, you know what? Like this team was a playoff team last year, and Sam Darnold got MVP votes, so maybe you keep him on the bench, but there's not too much to really stash out there because all the mobile upside's been scooped up. So that's kind of the deal with quarterback. Let me see. Do we have any quarterback questions in the chat that we got here?
I mean, we'll run through them as we get to them. I mean, it's I see a lot more dart and comments, which we kind of just talked about. So
yeah,
we can go
right.
on to running back.
Let's hit. We've already hit running back. Let's hit wide receivers here. Top ad for me is still the same as last week and the week before. I'm looking for the best mix of floor and upside with my top ad, like somebody that I can use right away if I need him, but also has some upside. That's still going to be Alec Ayamana. And that's simply because you got a full snap share for this guy. He's getting 5-6 targets a week, and he's a rookie, and his quarterback's a rookie. So there is the upside of, okay, what if these guys get on the same page and they progress and they start to play better? I mean, we've seen rookie quarterbacks obviously play better as they go. We saw, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't break out to week 11. Odell Beckham Jr. took a few weeks as a rookie. Sometimes these guys take a little time. So, a switch could be flipped at some point where this offense actually looks good. And now 5-6 targets turns into 7-8. Calvin Ridley's looked pretty rough. I mean,
yeah.
What do you see from Cam? I'm seeing kind of the same thing I saw from Caleb Williams last year, where it's like he's throwing the ball a million miles an hour every time, and it might not be necessary. He might be throwing balls that are difficult to catch at times.
He's also got like the worst offensive line in football as well, which isn't helping his case, where he's doesn't have time to kind of get settled back there and feel comfortable and make good throws. He's kind of got to rush these things. I will say that Brian Callahan is no longer calling offensive plays. They're going to have the quarterback coach call the plays moving forward. So that might also help a little bit more, having the guy that works with Cam Ward consistently as the quarterback coach be the guy that now calls the plays and sets up the offense. I mean, again, I don't mean to continue to call back to Patriots stuff. You and I are obviously Patriots fans. We watched that game. At one point last week, Drake May completed like 14 straight passes. And why did he do that? Because Josh McDaniels schemed up an offense that knew how to play to the strengths, right? And obviously you're facing a Steelers defense that plays the zone. They just kept on finding these spots, having Hunter Henry find soft spots, having wide receivers do these quick out routes and find soft spots in defense and make easy throws instead of waiting for these long downfield plays to develop when there's no time for that. Maybe now the new offensive play caller is the quarterback coach for the Tennessee Titans will start scheming up some more routes to make easier, quicker plays for Cam Ward, where he doesn't have to sit there and wait for these guys to go downfield like Ridley and Ayamana, and then he's getting sacked every other time he's on the field. So I'll be interested to see how that changes. I think that's one of the reasons why Chiga Conko has looked really good is because it's kind of the bailout option for Cam Ward. So, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Throw to Chig. Let's go. Next one here, probably your safest option right now is Christian Kirk. We told people to stash him because they basically weren't using any of the rookies. They didn't elevate them. It was kind of Xavier Hutchinson as the wide receiver 2 after Nico Collins, but he wasn't doing anything either. So we were like, let's throw Kirk on some benches. Week 1 here, Kirk, second in snaps, second in targets, second in routes, second in receptions, behind only Nico Collins. The only downside is that he did only play in 3 wide receiver sets. We're hoping he graduates to be kind of an every down guy. But right now, I mean, like, if you're plugging somebody right into your lineup, Kirk is definitely an option. And then as far as a stash goes, like not to put in your lineup, but just to have on the bench, Luther Burden came out. Luther Burden the third came out and had a big play here. He only ran 9 routes. So he's just a stash. Some people are getting over their skis with this one, John. I'm seeing people being like, oh, it's happening. Like, the dude hardly played once again, but this is how they get those. This is how you get to a point where you increase your snaps, is you start making plays. Simple as that. So we want to have him stashed. Streaming options, John, I've got who do you like best out of this group of streaming options? Let's say hypothetically, CeeDee Lamb is out.
Yep.
Alec Pierce is out, and Juwan Jennings they're all out. Who do you like best out of Jalen Tolbert, Adonai Mitchell, or Kendrick Bourne?
Probably Bourne if I had to pick one there. My problem with Tolbert and again, you and I had a lot of conversations this offseason. Like, Jake Ferguson is a favorite target of Dak Prescott, and now he's got like 30 targets in 2 weeks. There's a good chance that it's not George Pickens as the wide receiver 1 on this offense anymore. It's Jake Ferguson, and Pickens is still the number 2, and Tolbert just filling in now as the number 3 in this offense. I still think you pick up Tolbert and you put him in your lineup or put him as a flex or see what happens and develops there. And I mentioned sort of the same thing. I mean, we were high on Alec Pierce. I have a lot of them in best ball as like a late last round pick sort of guy. They fill the same role, but Pierce has been more effective in that role and still got to deal with Pittman. And now Ty Warren looks like legit. So, third wide receiver there for Adonai Mitchell. I think Bourne can step in and be the number 2 in this offense. If they do have Brock Purdy back this week, even better. No Tyquan Thornton for you, though. I mean, I know he's available in a lot of leagues still and had another big week for Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Xavier Worthy's out, then I'll use him. But I worry that he's just playing Worthy's role and that he's going to go back in the bucket. Guys like Trey Tucker. So if you go to a site like Fantasy Points Data Suite that breaks down the route types and you can kind of check on that, the guy that leads the league in vertical routes is Trey Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 guys tied for second are Tyquan Thornton and Kayshon Boutte. These are kind of field stretcher type players where if they hit big, but when they don't, they don't. The good thing about Patrick Mahomes is he's the best at hitting big. But I just worry that Xavier Worthy is going to take the Tyquan Thornton rollback. Whereas, all those guys, Darius Slayton, Alec Pierce, I have a hard time starting him.
You don't think Xavier Worthy would be the one to replace like Juju and have Tyquan Thornton remain? I do. If Thornton keeps playing this way, I mean, are they really going to take him off the field as a huge downfield stretcher? I mean, like
it could be Thornton, Worthy, and Rice when all is said and done.
Yeah.
But that's what. So again, it's like, where do you put him though? Because it's like, if you stream him and then Worthy replaces him, then you just got smoked.
And Worthy's still playing with it. Like he's gonna be wearing a brace, right? Like his arm he's injured. He's gonna be playing hurt. So I would still be prioritizing Tyquan Thornton if he's available on the wire right now, and until he stops producing. I mean, he's been out producing, the other wide receivers that we kind of talked about. I even know obviously a little bit of a separate category because he too is finally end zone back-to-back weeks, but Tyquan Thornton's looked damn.
Would you rather have Christian Kirk or Tyquan Thornton?
Right now, probably Tyquan Thornton.
See, I just feel like Kirk has a more sustainable role because once Worthy and Rice are up and running, where's Tyquan Thornton? Is he just going to be better than
the dude was a second round pick with the fastest 40 time and was a really good college player, and the Patriots just fumbled the bag, giving him a special teams coach and a defensive coordinator as his offensive coordinator that year. And they basically just washed him out last year. So
I'm definitely in standard leagues. I would do him over Kirk because Kirk's kind of a low A-dot boring type guy. But if it's full PPR, I'm going for Kirk because I just think Kirk has more long-term sustainability.
But we also know what Christian Kirk kind of is at this point, and I don't know,
which is not bad for PPR.
Okay.
Tyquan, so in terms of stashes, definitely Tyquan Thornton. Like if you need somebody to start, then yes, you got to go for like AM&R or Kirk or Jalen Tolbert because
the Texans offense just doesn't excite me. Their offensive line's bad, and Stroud has again looked bad now. 2 years, a year and 3 weeks, right? Like just has
fired Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick had the good offense that was working, and I don't know why they went away from the fullback and fired him, but feels like that was a mistake. But fine. Tyquan Thornton, I mean, he was definitely a guy that I'm considering for stashes, just like, Torrey Horton. Again, because it's like if he just plays so well that they can't keep him off the field, then he's going to end up with a role. But like hypothetically, when everyone's healthy, he doesn't have much of a role. That's kind of the problem. Same with Torrey Horton. But these guys are looking to stash. Jalen Coker is a guy I'm looking to stash.
Coker for sure.
Yeah,
Coker 100%.
If they got nobody after Tedero McMillan, like Legette's looked terrible and he's hurt.
Sanders just got hurt as well, so they don't even have him.
So. Yeah, they didn't elevate either Hunter Renfrow or Bryson Tremaine. In fact, they rotated them this week. They elevated David Moore, who is as just a guy as they make him. You know what I mean? So definitely stash Coker. And then another name that needs to be known in very deep leagues is Arian Smith. He's a rookie for the Jets. He actually came out and operated as their wide receiver 2 this week, played a big snap share, caught both his targets, I know for only 2 yards, but anytime a guy is getting that many snaps in an offense where there is no wide receiver 2, you got to know the name just in case he plays a big snap share next week and gets a bunch of targets. He could just go away though, so just know that name. But that's kind of it for our receivers. Let's pop back in the chat, see what people are thinking. Jerry, with these questions, is Pacheco droppable? Of course, but we need to know who you're adding. As we always say, do not drop people just to drop people.
Yeah, depends what you're adding and what your waiver wire. If you're in a deep league, try to trade Pacheco, right? Like if someone might need a running back,
Right.
So.
Yeah. Let's see here. Nico Formonti, Twitch gang. What do you think, Johnny?
Again, need to know your team. I mean, Monty coming off of a huge week could be, you're trying to obviously sell high a little bit on him. I was surprised to see David Montgomery going as low as he was in drafts because this is a guy that is just a lock for 10 touchdowns. So, like, again, we're talking running back depth.
Right.
Let me know what your wide receivers look like, or let me know what your running back situation is. And
in theory, though, I think it's a good move because, like, Nico is a guy that he's got big upside, top guy on his team. Maybe they can turn it around. Whereas Monty, Monty's good. Monty's not only good, but he also the one thing that people always with Gibbs, we always say, oh well, what if Monty gets hurt? Then he's the best running back in football. Well, what happens if Gibbs gets hurt? Like Monty also has big contingent upside.
Gibbs got like 24 carries last night, which is obviously, people see that like I'll touch Monty 2-1 there, which he's the number one running back on that team. That's gonna happen, but they also run the football a ton on that team. So
they want him. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Mahomes, Kamara, Taylor, blah, 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 blah. I want to add another elite wide receiver. Who should I go for?
That's an impossible question. You got to
let
us know who you're trying to target, and we can work a deal.
That's the one for Discord. If you're in the Discord, then we can work that out with a little more time than a live show. So throw that in the Discord at Fantasy Alarm.
Got Nico for Monty. Then go back to the question. Sure, it's Alex. It's a fine deal if you need the wide receiver help, then you have the running back depth. That's fine.
Yeah, I like that. He came over to YouTube. We appreciate you when you guys pop over to YouTube and hang out with us over there. Another spot I have issues, kicker. What kicker should I use? Just use Matt Prater is out there in like every league. I don't know why people aren't adding him, but he just missed his first field goal last week. Otherwise, would have been another great week for him. Like, just use him right now. Schrader is also a decent option too. So yeah,
those leagues that don't use kickers are awesome leagues as well. You should consider that.
Yeah. Should I sit Genty and flex DJ Moore or Iaminar? Not Iaminar. Would you sit Genty for DJ Moore? I might just stick with Genty.
I'd probably just play Genty this week. If Genty doesn't get anything going this week against the Bears, then you have some real questions. Are the Bears? So
I had some extra bonus cash over on one of the pick'em sites. John and I did a Tesla under 15 yards, which I don't think he touched the football once.
They threw it to him twice, and neither time was he even looking for the football when they did. So
he wasn't looking. So Monangai, yes, Tesla does not need to be held. One PPR, better rest of season, Brees or Jordan Mason? Wow, Johnny. Probably still Brees, but I mean, right now it's so fantasy becomes. I think we underrate how much of a weekly game fantasy football is.
Yeah, the PPR aspect of Brees Hall is obviously super appealing. So,
but you shouldn't be looking too far out in front of your face unless you're 3-0. Like, it's too early in the season to be talking rest of season.
Why aren't you playing both of those guys? Who else is on your team that you have to decide between one of those two players?
Could be a trade.
Let us know. Full question.
I wouldn't trade for. I wouldn't trade. I would keep Brees. Yeah. Flex Jordan Mason or Scatabo. Jordan Mason starts every week for us, but try not to do start sits today. Better pickup, Horton or Tolbert. Again, Rod, this is one super important for the question. If you're going to start them this week, it has to be Tolbert. If you're not starting them or don't plan to start them within the next 2 weeks, I would actually probably go Torrey Horton because he has more upside, probably more talented player. But Tolbert just basically played CeeDee Lamb's role last week. Yeah. He got a bunch of targets, didn't catch any of them. But like, if you got to start them within this week or next, go Tolbert. Otherwise, Horton. It does matter. Tyreek or Pearsall? Wow.
Still going Tyreek here. Yeah. I don't care about the Gardner matchup. That's fine.
Rondé Gadsden, the top ad. I would love if that was the case, Uncle Ted. I'm a big Rondé Gadsden guy, but
it depends if Disney's going to be missing another week or not.
Yeah, right. Plus, they also have 3 wide receivers that are pretty heavily targeted. So, like, this week was an anomaly because they threw so many times. It's not sustainable. No team has thrown more than 40 times a game. I'll average that since Tom Brady was the Bucs quarterback.
I think Cleveland's currently doing it.
So are the Chargers and so are the Saints. But it's not sustainable over the course of an entire season.
What do the Chargers have this week? Is there a matchup? Let's see. It is the Giants. Yeah, they're not going to throw that much. They'll be.
I would love for Disley and Conklin to just go away and Gadsden to get that role.
This is a Marion Hampton week.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if Disley's out for a while, and one of the wide receivers gets hurt. Ben Gadsden is like really on the radar. He's really just a deep league stash here. What up, Ethan? Drop Daniel Jones for Wentz? No. Daniel Jones, dude. The Colts are the second highest scoring team in football right now. Daniel Jones is awesome. He's out there looking like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Judkins and Sampson, safe to drop Sampson. Yes, you
Yep.
can drop Sampson. Just make sure, as always, that you're adding somebody that
The only thing with that is there was obviously rumors that there could be an in-season suspension by the NFL with Judkins, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point.
If it does, then you figure it out. Then you add, but Sampson wasn't even good before.
Yeah, he had 8 catches week 1. That was about the value to him.
Johnny Empanada in the house. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. How do you feel about Dart? I mean, Johnny, what do you think, man?
Has some mobility, obviously an exciting arm, but there was a reason why he was kind of drafted. The idea of being a little bit of a project. I honestly don't think they wanted to start him by week 4, but Russ did nothing to save his job last week. So at this point, Giants are 0-3 and they'll just lose with Dart. So you want to pick him up, see what happens? Sure. I don't think this is like a weekly starter for you now.
Yeah, take a peek, man. But most times when a bad team benches their quarterback and a guy inherits a bad team, it's usually not that good.
No.
See the Browns every year. Coop, you mentioned trading for Rashee Rice yesterday. I did a 40-minute show by myself yesterday, John, just like old times. I tried to keep it 30 minutes. It's not possible.
Sure.
I'm 3-0. The Rice owner team is falling apart. He wants Pittman and Tillman for him. Seems a bit steep. Brother, I'm maybe the biggest Pittman fan in the world. I checked it, John. All the teams in Best Ball Mania, there's only 5 teams that have more. There's only 5 users that have more Pittman and DJ Daniel Jones teams than I have. So I'm right there as a big Pittman fan. I'm trading Pittman if I'm 3-0, I'm trading Pittman and Tillman for Rashee Rice right now. Are you down with that?
What's your Pittman exposure? An underdog.
32. What's yours?
I'm trying to pull it up right now. Let's see.
He's my highest exposure. He's my highest exposure player. Pittman is.
Active drafts live best ball. They make you click like 10,000 buttons.
I know, dude. I never remember the coordinates.
I'm at 42% Pittman.
Yeah, but how many teams did you draft? I got to the point where I had
25 teams, 42% Pittman. I have 62% Hollywood Brown, which is nice. Just kept on
62.
throwing.
See, I don't have anybody. I drafted over 200 and I maxed out Best Ball Mania.
I have 42% Jonathan Taylor.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, just drafted a whole bunch of running backs early on. Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley are 6 of my top 7, 6 of my top 8 running backs.
Yeah. Well, all that said, we love Pittman, Ethan, but if you're 3-0 and you have a shot to get Rashee Rice, who when he got hurt last year was the number 2 wide receiver in all of fantasy football, and the stretch he was on goes back to the previous year, and we expect him to be fully healthy. He's coming off a suspension, not an injury. If you have a chance to do that, you just got to do it, man. You just got to do it. Uncle Ted, Luke McCaffrey is a deep threat. The thing about Luke McCaffrey is that it was garbage time. You got to throw out the final portions of the Commanders game, the Commanders snaps and the Seahawks snaps, because those games were complete blowouts, and they just benched the starters. So to some degree, Luke McCaffrey has made a couple plays, but he only does it when the game's over.
Yeah, what's the no Terry McLaurin snaps? Is that like a Noah Brown play or something like that? I mean,
I don't know, dude. If Terry McLaurin, he's got a quad, right?
Yeah.
I got to get an update on that, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm going crazy to add anybody else.
I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah. Yes, Brian, good call. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. It supports us. We support you. We're trying to help you guys out. All right, let me jump in here. Let's do tight ends real quick. So we already talked defenses and kickers. Okay, kickers are Matt Prater, Brandon McManus, widely available. I don't know why they still are, but use those guys. Patriots defense is probably the one for me if they're out there, especially if Christian Gonzalez is playing.
Sure.
Yeah, there's not too many other good matchups out there. For tight end, guys like Juwan Johnson already been added. The guy that's Hunter Henry got dropped in some places, and I would add him if he's out there, but he's still rostered in over 60%. So it's just check for that, because I know some people were dropping him. Chigakonkwo is probably the guy that's most widely available. He's getting a lot of usage. He's got upside. Like, he's a guy I'm looking for. Brenton Strange is a kind of safe but boring spot start. But with Dami Brown out, maybe he'll get a little bit more involved. Again,
well, actually, that's a good. I completely kind of forgot about that. What's your thoughts on Parker Washington?
he played a massive snap share, man.
He had a ton of targets. He had 11 targets this week.
Right, and Travis Hunter is
playing more defense.
Yeah, playing a ton of defense. They only want him playing slot. So yeah, Parker Washington he was an honorable mention in my article as a streamer. If De'Ami Brown's out, probably a DFS radar for sure.
Yeah,
if De'Ami Brown is out, because like that, he got the full role.
He made some plays last year for them too. So not a rookie. So
he can make plays. Yeah, that's why to me he's like a DFS guy, because not unless they come and say De'Ami Brown's going on the season-ending IR, and then now we're talking like this guy's a full-time player, So definitely a spot starter stash. Other stash, like those are your streamers too, Okonkwo and Strange, right? I'm not gonna go and stream like Tommy Tremble with Jatavian Sanders out.
Yeah.
Maybe DFS, but other stashes, Isaiah Likely, still a guy that, if you were holding him, hold on. We'll see what this offense looks like with him in there. And the other one that people don't like, but I'm willing to do, I have him in a few deep leagues, is Darren Waller. Like, start doing the math on this situation. Last year, Jonnu Smith ran 70% of his routes from a wide receiver spot. Darren Waller has a history of doing that. He's obviously converted wide receiver. Darren Waller, in his last year playing, the year before last, so not a crazy long time ago, was on pace for over 100 targets and 780 yards. Like, he just got banged up. He was hurt. He's always hurt. He's going to be limited this week. He's going to play, but he's going to be limited, so you can't start him. But I'm holding to see what he looks like. The other obvious wild card is that this team's falling apart, and they could start trading people. They could trade Tyreek Hill if anyone would take him. Tyreek Hill is under investigation. He could be suspended. Jalen Waddle could get traded. I mean, like, sometimes these like disaster teams have these guys that just emerge and get 7-8 targets a game because they got nobody else. And Darren Waller could be that guy. So that's the last kind of stat. And Aronde Gadsden, in very deep leagues, I'm stashing him. I want to see. He's a great pass catcher. His dad was a great pass catcher. He had the most contested catches of any of the rookie tight ends last year, even more than Tyler Warren at Syracuse. I know it's not a big time school, but he was just mossing people over there. So Aronde Gadsden, keep an eye on him. 6 targets this week. But again, he needs a lot to change to get to be like really a guy we can depend on. But just a name to know. Name to know. So that's pretty much it here. Let's hit the let's see if anybody has any last questions here. Trade Tyler Warren for Genty. If you need an RB, you have Hawk on the bench. That is a very strange one. I am a little worried about Hawk. I mean, Jordan Addison comes back this week.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson Wentz is much better for Hawk than JJ McCarthy was. I'll say that. I don't know if I would trade Tyler Warren. I mean, maybe I would, John. What do you think? Tyler Warren for Genty?
Yeah, I would trade a tight end for running back.
Yeah, I think you just got to do that. If you're going to start, if Genty starts for you right away, just do that. Hard to believe the show got better without me, but that Johnny Empanada is a sexy motherfucker.
My best.
That's great. That's good to see you, Howard. Thanks for popping in the chat, dude. Hey, we're put no super chat. Not gonna put $5 Alaskan dollars on that.
Right.
Nico Collins versus the Titans. I mean, who are you benching Nico Collins for?
I was saying, you're really not benching anybody for him.
You gotta, dude. You know where? You gotta hop in the Discord. Send me a message on Reddit. I'll help you get set up. Prater. Yep. Cook and Henry are my other RBs for Victor. I forget what the trade was, Victor. But you're already a Fantasy Line member, so hit us up in the Discord, buddy.
Yeah.
Bye weeks haven't started. I get you, Uncle Ted. I'm excited too, dude. I'm very excited. I think that's about it here. Rolling with Kraft versus Dallas. Sterling Shepard, a good waiver scoop in deeper leagues. Yeah, I would say, man.
Mike Evans out a couple of weeks. They said 3 to 4.
3 to 4, yeah. Especially if Chris Godwin's not a go. I think that's going to be the big thing. Like, if Godwin's a no-go, then Shepard gets out.
Is it the Cade Otton week now?
Cade Otton has 2 weeks with no catches at all. So hopefully it'll be a Cade Otton week. I mean, like, if he's not going to do anything with 3 wide receivers down, then he never will. He never will. Last question here from Ethan Betterman. Mandrews is dropped before game time. I have Njoku starting now. Worth the waiver claim. You know what you're getting, man. You know what you're getting. Like, we just have to understand that Andrews is a guy that can go out at any point and just have no points, no receptions, no nothing. But he could also go out and score a touchdown. He was last year. Last year, in the first 4 weeks of the year, he had 2 games with 0 points. Mark Andrews did. And then over the last 11 games, he scored 10 touchdowns, So, like, that's just who Andrews is. It's who Sam Laporta is. Like, much better in best ball, much better in standard, but there's not much else out there. So you just got to hold your nose and start those guys. If Njoku is my tight end or Harold Finn is my tight end, I'm having another tight end on my roster somewhere, because we know that Joe Flacco at some point is going to get pulled, and then it could be Dylan Gabriel, it could be Shadur Sanders. It's probably going to be a nightmare. The volume's not going to be as high. Like, you have to prepare for the reality that that's going to happen, John.
Yeah.
If you have Njoku, you're a Browns fan, flat out. Like, you need them to win so that Flacco doesn't get benched. So there you go. Any other parting words for the people out here, Johnny?
No, that's it. Like I said, it's week 4 is already here. It's kind of crazy to think. Obviously, we'll have shows tomorrow, Thursday. You'll be a Friday. We have our Sunday show to get you guys ready for a whole lot of stuff here in week 4.
Yeah, we'll cover you guys. So, hey, first things first. If you're not set up at Drafters, go get set up now. And, for some of the folks like Death Wish and you guys, if you want in on the Discord, if you want to become a member, go get set up at Drafters this week and first take a shot at possibly just winning a month of All-Pro Fantasy Alarm right now. So if you use promo code ALARM100 over at Drafters, and you can draft with us tomorrow if you want at 1 p.m. or Thursday at 1 p.m. with us, or you can just draft on your own. But if you get set up now and you make a deposit of $10 or more, right, John?
Yeah, $10 or more, get 100% deposit match. Then you got to use that $10 to enter a contest, whether it be best ball or pick 'em. Then you get an opportunity to win a free month of Fantasy Alarm for the month of October.
Yes, so you can get in, potentially get a membership, get your first membership for free that way, essentially winning that way. So definitely check that out first and foremost. Otherwise, if you're already in on Drafters or just want to become a member, get set up now and join us in the Discord where we do these drafts. We answer all your questions all the time. You get all sorts of stuff behind the paywall. I mean, I do one in waiver article that's free, but then I have this other one that's streamers and stashes that's deeper. The target totem pole is going to be up. All the rankings at every position are going to be up by the end of the day today. The running back questionnaire, all our DFS stuff, baseball, basketball, hockey. Not to mention, I was doing the math, John. And if you get your 1 month membership now, that gets you through the start of the start of hockey season, which is October 7th. And then basketball kicks off October 21st is the first game?
Yeah, you get 4 sports if you basically get October for free. You'll get the baseball playoffs, you'll get football, hockey, and basketball season all within that first month of the season. So
right. And I guarantee you, like, if you like with this sign up thing, probably only going to be 5-10 names in that. So your odds of winning that month is pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
So pretty good. Right now, I think there's 1. So
we have 3 total, actually.
3 total, right?
3 total people so far have taken advantage of that free month. So really increasing your odds if you guys sign in. Again, $10 deposit minimum. They give you 100% match on that $10. And then again, you get an opportunity to basically win a free $40 monthly subscription here for us at Fantasy Alarm.
All right. Awesome. So if you want to draft with us tomorrow, we're doing a quick 15-minute draft right when the show starts on Wednesday, 1 p.m. and also Thursday, 1 p.m. So shoot me a message on Twitter at Coupe Fiasco or in the Discord if you've never played with us. We'll get you guys in. Last question is before we get the heck out of here. Rest of the season, I like London better. I like Benson better than Judkins right now. Should I trade Bucky for Warren and Scatabo? Only if you're starting both Warren and Scatabo. If one of them is going to be on your bench, don't do it. All right, guys, that's it for us. We are out of here today. We will be back once again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like on the way out.
Adios, turd nuggets.